Hi folks, this is Barry again from Barry's 8-Track and Classic Car Radio Repair, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about why faders go bad. That's the factory faders that fade the signal from front to rear with older car stereos. And so in order to explain my stuff here, I'm going to have to switch to the overhead camera. And what we have here is the inside of a conventional like volume control that one would use for volume, tone, and balance typically. And what this consists of, in almost all cases, is you've got a copper wiper there, either brass or copper, which basically wipes across a resistance element, and this is the entire resistance element with the wiper part removed. This is just a little wafer impregnated with carbon, and at the tiny voltage levels encountered in this part of the circuit, you can get away with that because you're not processing more than a few millionths of a volt in most cases, or maybe up to 1 volt in the case of a line level signal that's ready to go to the power amplifier. So this is your basic what they call a potentiometer or a pod. It's just a basic regular control using the standard carbon resistance element. Now those can't handle too much volt or too much power, so in the speaker circuit at those power levels, they use instead, as the speaker fader, it's what they call a wirewound fader. And if you look closely, you can see that this is just windings of wire going basically all around the perimeter of the control. It's out of focus now, but you can see that it's wire that's actually the resistance element, and then a brass or copper wiper moves across that, which varies the resistance between the wiper terminal and one of the end terminals, and that's how it makes its fading action. Now the problem with these faders is that there's two things wrong here. First of all, we have kind of a self-destructive thing. We have a copper or brass wiper that's continually being rotated across one tiny exposed portion of that winding as it travels past. Now each time it travels past, it's going to make a little bitty nick in that wire until eventually that wire no longer has enough cross-sectional area to handle the power that it's designed to handle. Now we've got another problem here, and this is not the case with all faders. This one is a larger, older fader, so you can see the detail better. We have a copper or brass wiper running across steel wire. Now anyone who knows a lot about metallurgy will tell you that anytime you have two dissimilar metals in contact with each other, it generates a tiny voltage which eventually causes the two pieces to mutually corrode each other. So you're kind of messed up either way. If you utilize your control a lot to keep it exercised more or less and to keep it from setting in one place all the time, then you're wearing out the windings. But if you don't touch it to avoid wearing out the windings, then you allow this galvanic action to form. So that's the basic story on why a lot of faders don't work anymore, and why it's often necessary to use the virtual fader function that's inherent in the Aurora design. So this is Barry from Classic Car Radio Repair, or Barry's 8-Track Repair as I'm also known as. If you have repair work to be done or a conversion, you can call me directly at 928-533-9666. My main website is barrys8trackrepair.com. That's BARRYS number 8 trackrepair.com, or an easier site to remember is classiccarradiorepair.com. Thank you very much for watching and listening.